The gentleman from Texas is recognized for 5 minutes on his amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I encourage all members of this committee to support my legislation in this amendment in the nature of the substitute, the No Technology for Terror Act, H.R. 6603, that extends the foreign direct product rule to Iran. And I thank the chairman and the ranking member for working in a bipartisan fashion to carve a piece of legislation that is acceptable to both Republicans and Democrats and achieves the goal that is very important to our national security. My bill would codify existing limitations on the export of certain U.S. origin goods or technology to Iran. Under this legislation, anyone seeking to transfer U.S. origin items to Iran would be required to first obtain a license from the Commerce Department before doing so. Iranian aggression is not new and, in fact, is amplifying. In recent years, we've seen a dramatic expansion in the Iranian regime's support from malign proxy groups and our adversaries like Russia. From multiple reports, including the Defense Intelligence Agency, there are clear ties of Iran transferring its unmanned aerial vehicles to Russia since the invasion of Ukraine. Iran has transferred this same UAV model, the Shahed 136, to the Houthis as well as its other proxies across the Middle East. Reports have found that components recovered from Iranian-made drones used against the people of Ukraine have been found to include more than 50 American-made components. Other reports have found that out of roughly 500 components identified in a recovered Iranian-made UAV, 82% were manufactured by U.S. companies. That's 82%. These reports are backed by a June 2023 report released by the State Department, where they acknowledged that Iran relies on foreign procurement and even prefers American-made sourcing to manufacture its lethal weapons. Iran is evolving and using more advanced technologies to manufacture their lethal fleet and circumvent current sanctions laws. This poses a direct threat to our service members in the region, and bold action is needed now. The current administration's foreign policy on Iran is not producing effective deterrence. These 3 brave U.S. service members lost their lives and dozens injured by a drone launched by Iran proxies in Jordan. Meanwhile, the U.S. took 6 days to respond, and this retaliatory response is simply unacceptable. 2 Navy SEALs lost their lives attempting to seize Iranian weapons on their way to their proxies. We can and we must get ahead of the weapons and equipment trade to Iran, and we can use our export controls to ensure U.S. goods are not being used by Iran to make lethal missiles and drones. The No Technology for Terror Act will do just that. The limitations set forth in my bill would make it harder for Iran to produce missiles and drones that are used against American troops and our allies, and make it more difficult to transfer these drones and missiles to proxies and Russia. American equipment, technology, and other know-how under no circumstances should be transferred to Iran. The Iranian regime is relentlessly evil and seeks to become the superpower in the Middle East, which means that they intend to eliminate America and its allies at all costs. This bill would inherently pressure other countries to enact their own export controls against Iran. In this time, America must lead and must make clear that we will not hesitate to use all means necessary to defeat our adversaries. In closing, I want to thank again Chairman McCall and Congressman Moskowitz, who are co-leading this important legislation with me. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.